here today to try to make a double layered pumpkin cheesecake. I haven't made one in a long time. My recipe I used to have was on one of my old phones, and the screen on that phone does not work anymore. So, yay! I had to go find a different recipe, and we're gonna pretty much just go with it. I still made my own little pumpkin spice seasoning blend that I'm going to add to my homemade pumpkin puree made from real pumpkins. So the first thing I need to do is preheat the oven at 325. Lower that down. There we go. That's preheated. What I got here for ingredients is I have 2 8-ounce packages of softened cream cheese. Yes, you want them to be as close to room temperature as possible, so that way when you use your blender or hand blender, mixer, whatever you are using, it'll go smoother and not be all chunky and fighting you and everything's flying all over the place. The other ingredients I have a half cup of pumpkin puree. I got my 2 eggs already cracked open and set inside here. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's see, that's empty. We have a half cup of granulated sugar. And then over here I have my vanilla extract. And then I have my homemade pumpkin spice that I use. Let's see, what did I put in there? I put a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and then I put a 1/4 teaspoon of ground allspice, ground ginger, and nutmeg. Mix those together. Alright, so let's see if I can get this other package open. Ooh, it's biting me already. This is why I should pre-open stuff before you record. That's okay. This is real life. Real life, it's not as easy. I can't get it open. Alright, let me try this way. This is one of those moments, like, where I probably should have brought some scissors in here. Ugh. Doesn't help that my hands over time have been having more problems. Ugh. There we go. Set those aside in case we want to eat the little bits of cream cheese, because I love cream cheese. Alright, so what it wants me to do next is we want to add our sugar. You do that, and you want to add your eggs one at a time, it says, even though I got them both in there. It'll be fine. This is going to be the hard part. Let's see how this goes. We're going to kind of smush it down before we turn it on, so we can try not to have everything go flying out. Help if I use my spatula. Alright, let me just smush it in there. Oh, I probably should use my KitchenAid. But, you know, we like to live dangerously in the kitchen. Alright, well, let's see. Probably should have done one of these at a time. Let's kind of go in. Very similar. It's very similar to when you mix sugar with your butter. But I want this to be a little bit smoother, so hopefully this will start being less sticky. There we go. Yeah, this should have softened just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the vanilla, and I believe that the vanilla, how much did they want me to put in there? It says a 1/2 teaspoon. don't have a half teaspoon. I do have a half teaspoon. Okay, here we go. Do. Very gently measured out. Whoop. Half teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'll add some liquid to this, and I'm going to add a little bit of the egg. See if I can get one egg yolk. Plop. There we go. Hopefully that'll help get this to blend out better. Alright, I'm going to take this and scrape my sides down. There we go. Yes, I'm doing this so gracefully. Alright, let me set this down. Whoop. Okay, if it's a little messy, because life is messy. That's what makes it interesting. And sometimes fun. Sometimes not fun, but we're gonna go with fun. In this case. Alright, hold on 1 second. Yes, Gabriel.
May I please watch YouTube?
Yes, you can, actually. You can watch some YouTube while I record a YouTube video. How funny is that? Okay, so I think I got this pretty good. I'm going to run it through one more time because I'm scraping the edges. Let me use this. Kind of helps me out. Alright, got some on my hand. That's okay. You know what, let me get a towel. I got a towel right here. Alright, here we go. The mix is good. Alright, okay, so the next move it wants us to do is it wants us to take half of this and put it in our pie crust. Now, I went ahead and just bought some pie crust because, you know, I want these pies for Thanksgiving. I am kind of doing this one a little bit earlier just to see how it comes out, but I got enough stuff that I could, you know, make another one. Let me go rinse my hands. Yeah, I've made a pie crust before, but just for making life a little easier, because everyone's kind of been having a rough year to begin with, and we're all just trying to, we're trying to relax and be happier. So I went ahead and bought some pie crusts. I like it. So what they want us to do is you take half of this and just kind of put it at the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do is just kind of layer it so that the bottom is coated with this nice batter here, this cheesecake batter. Just keep scooping it out. If you really want to be a perfectionist, you can always get one of those scales and you can measure, like weigh it out and then figure out how much exactly is half of this. Though, as soon as you add, you know, the pumpkin puree, you're gonna have more of the pumpkin mixture than you are gonna have the cream cheese mixture. So, what I like to do is I do like to add a little bit more of the cheesecake part to the bottom half. That way, when you slice into it, it's a little bit more even. You don't just have this like real thin white layer. You kind of have like an even white to orange ratio. And it's okay if you get some on the edges. It doesn't matter. It's all going in the same place at the end when you eat it. Alright, let's see. I want to add a little bit more. I think I do. Add just a little more. And then go ahead and mix our little pumpkin in there. Okay. Do that. Set that aside. I'm going to go rinse my hands. Okay. So I'm going to go set this aside. Back here. Bring this over here. We're going to add our pumpkin. Oh, yep. Pumpkin. And then I'm going to add some of that pumpkin spice I made. And we're going to do it to taste. That's how I usually do it. Stick that in there. Let's see. No, there isn't any sugar in this, so hopefully this cream cheese stuff is sweet enough that we don't have to add any more sugar to it. We'll find out. So what I'm going to do is do that, set this in here. My hands are messy again. Use my towel. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit at a time. First I'm going to just add like a 1/4 teaspoon. The whole thing there. I'm going to mix it and then I'll taste it. So here we go. Okay, a little more liquid here, just to be expected. If you are worried about salmonella, the smart thing to do, which I probably should have done, is to add your pumpkin seasoning to your pumpkin puree first, and then taste that, and then that would kind of let you know how good it was going to be before you added it to your egg mix. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and go for broke and risk it. Alright, let me go get a tasting spoon. I should have grabbed one earlier. We'll see if this is pumpkin spicy enough. I don't really want a lot, just enough to know. Actually, that's pretty on point. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this and we're going to put it into our cheesecake high crust. This should go in a little bit easier because it's a little more liquidier. But you still want a spatula so you can scrape it. You can always buy those pre-made pumpkin puree cans that have the pumpkin spice in it already. You don't have to make your pumpkin puree from scratch. There's so many different ways you can approach this. I just like making stuff from scratch because I just kind of like knowing how things work like that. It's kind of fun. To me, at least. not always fun to everybody else. Some people just want to eat, you know, the results. They don't really care for taking the steps to make it, and they just do it just because they know that when you take the steps to make it, it's going to taste a lot better than if you just get something pre-made. But that's okay. I like doing it from scratch if I can. Alright, so now I just have to put this in the oven, and then we'll set the timer and we'll see how it comes out. Oh, let me turn on my little light. Set this in there. Close it up. And we're going to set our timer for, it says 35 to 40 minutes, or at least until the center's almost set. And then they said you gotta refrigerate it for 3 hours or overnight, which I'm probably gonna refrigerate it overnight. So let's go set our timer. And hopefully when I come back, we will have a set pie. Okay, so it has been 30 minutes, and what we're trying to look for is for it not to be really jiggly. So what I want to do is just kind of do that, because I don't want the middle to be very liquidy. Like it can have a little jiggle, but not a lot. And I'm not sure if it's fully set yet, so I'm going to go ahead and give it another 5 minutes before I take it out. Okay, so we did another 5 minutes. I'm going to kind of check it again. Now it's a little better. I'm going to go pull it out because I can see at the edges, especially in the back. It's kind of hard to see with the camera there. But it's already starting to get a little bit of cracks, and cracks is not what you want. So we're going to go ahead and take this out. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We're going to have to let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, and we'll see how well it sits. And I will come back and we will slice it and just, you know, have a taste. See how good it came out. Okay, we are back. It has been one night of having the pie sit in the fridge. Sorry, I got my camera set up so you guys can see the plates more than my face. That's okay. The whole point of this is so we can see how the double layer came out. So here comes the more difficult part, is that first slice. Alright, good news is that the middle is not liquid. So that means it did cook all the way through and set. I'm trying to cut through the crust part. I think that's probably my most difficult thing when it comes to serving pies, trying to get it so that the crust comes out too. Alright, let's see if I can pull it out. Oh, nope. Alright, I gotta slice it again. Really press down through that crust. And here we go. Alright, get my little pie server. Here we go. Okay, it's coming out. I just want to carefully lift. And there we go. Alright. Let's see how it came out on the sides there. I'm going to lift it up to this camera. Do you see that? Do you see the white on the bottom? And the layer of pumpkin on the top. Alright, we're going to go cut another slice out. We're going to show some ways that are fun to serve this. Alright, here comes our second slice. It's a little bit easier to get out. Here we go. It's okay if you get a little of those crumbs, those are good. Alright, So I'm gonna go set this behind. And here's some fun ways to serve this. Of course, everybody loves Ready Whip. That's what I like to do. Take some Ready Whip. Put it like that. And so, let's see. For mine, I'm just probably gonna put a couple sprinkles on it. And that's good enough for me. But for my son, Raphael, he says he would like a little bit of cinnamon. So what we're going to do is just grab a little bit and kind of do a dusting. That looks kind of nice. Let me grab a little bit more. I don't want to put too much. There we go. Alright, and then he also wants chocolate drizzle. I think for me, if I had some caramel drizzle, I would have done that for mine because I love caramel with cheesecake, but I do not. I have chocolate though. So this is what I like to do when I got drizzles. Just kind of put it all fancy nice like that. And there you go. Now the next thing is to actually try it and see if it's good. Got all these extra forks I thought more of us were eating. They're not. Yes, hi Raphael. Raphael, if you want, you can come over on this side and you can have your fork over here. Okay, so now we're going to see what this tastes like. It's good. Tastes like cheesecake.
Yeah.
Do you taste the pumpkin?
A bit.
I bet you taste the chocolate. Mm. Alright, well, that was it. It came out pretty good. And I'm probably going to make another one for Thanksgiving. That way the rest of my family can have some too. I know, I wish you guys could have taste of vision. Taste of vision. See you later. Bye.